Hello, welcome to my channel. Let's start another haul video from random places. This weekend I went to a few yard sales. Our weather is beautiful. It is yard sale weather, but it's still early for yard sale season and the weather can be iffy. So, community yard sales and stuff aren't usually this time of year. I stopped at one on my way home from the gym Friday afternoon, and then Saturday I had to be somewhere across town. So I managed to hit a couple of yard sales on the way. I wish I had left a little earlier because I didn't really get to look up comps or anything. I couldn't be late for this thing that I have to go to. Anyway, let's see what I got. I didn't spend a lot of money, so hopefully I made some choices that will reap the rewards. The first item I picked up actually isn't to resell, but it is reseller related. It is leather honey. I feel like I've read about this before. It's a leather conditioner. I don't know if you can see, it's like got this much space. So it's barely used and sells for like $28 on Amazon. I looked it up. I'm always happy to throw something into my box of shoe repair, handbag repair stuff. So we'll see how that works. I do have another kind of leather conditioner. And of course I have Wonder Balsam, Doc Martens, whatever. It was $1, so I thought I would just try it. Then I stopped at, this was from the first yard sale I stopped at Saturday morning. The brand is the Sack. It's not leather, but I liked the style of it. I did a quick image search. This is either still for sale or sold out, but the listing is still there at Macy's. So I figured, all right, well, it's sold in okay places. And she was only asking $1. The outside seems to be in very good condition. I generally don't like to buy fake leather because there's usually peeling, but this one doesn't have it. There's a little spot I need to clean, that's all. A little bit of wear along the edging. Not too bad on the bottom, of course. The worst part of it is the inside is kind of stained, but not like it's not all like crumbs and everything. It's got ink stains. I don't know why that would matter that much. I mean, obviously it would lower the value of something that looks new, but it's the outside that matters. The inside, if it's got some staining, who cares? I wouldn't care. I will try to clean it a little bit. Like I said, she was asking $1, so it was $1, but I actually only paid 85 cents because when I got it home, I found 15 cents in it. Did I get it all? Did I miss anything? Oh, and an earring. Oh, okay. I'll trash that. It's not silver, is it? I don't think so. It's Monet, which I don't believe is silver. I guess I should closely check the other pockets. But I think 15 cents is the big score here. Anyway, would you pick that up for $1? Had I had more time, I probably would have looked up comps because I don't want to buy something that's going to make me, $10. All right. Then the second yard sale, this guy apparently buys storage units, and I don't know how he sells all this stuff. I feel like he sells it somehow and then he ends with like a 3-day yard sale or a couple yard sales, because he said at the end of this yard sale, whatever's left, he will donate and then he will start over again. So he said he has yard sales about once every 2 months. I will look out for it, but it's not in my area. It's only good for me to go to if I'm on my way far away. But I don't know. I might make an exception and drive to that place, because I can always hit, if it's yard sale season, I can hit a bunch of yard sales on the way there and on the way back. Okay, so I picked up, this was the first thing I picked up. Vintage Wilson's leather. Made in Korea, size 10. Look at this jacket. What's so vintage about it is this. I don't even know what you would call this. It's trying to look like spacey, like a space costume, I feel like. It's white, and vintage. So it's in remarkably clean condition, all things considered. It was not expensive. I would not have spent more than $5 on this. I think he said it was $3. I ended up spending $10 on the 3 items I picked up. The second item, this is a brand I've never sold, and some of the comps can be really good, and some of the comps are kind of low, so I threw it in and didn't even have a chance to look it over that closely. The brand is MZ Wallace. Is there 15 cents in there? This one is not stained much. There's a dark spot there. It's got a nice red lining, and it's nylon with a couple of pockets. Maybe I'll ask my mom if she needs a bag. This might be good for her. I don't know. She's very picky about her bags. I don't know. Had I left earlier, I would have looked up more comps. Shame on me. I will leave earlier next time if I think I can hit some yard sales. Worst case scenario, I get there earlier. I sit in my car for a while. And last item, there are stripper boots. Faux patent leather stripper boots. I don't know what size they are, but has a YKK zipper, which I found surprising. They're side zippers, but they're decorative, I think. Are they? No, it opens up, but it also has front laces. I mainly bought them because they're fun, but also, I don't know if you'll be able to see, they are Pleaser, which is a good stripper shoe brand. These are in good condition, which with stripper shoes, sometimes that's not an asset, that they're, not well worn, because I don't know, I feel like they like used stripper shoes. These are not the typical, classic stripper shoe with the acrylic here and the see-through, but they're pretty cool. Oh, let's see what size they are if we can figure that out. It's the Adore. It's a size 6. Oh, I wish it was not a size 6, but it is. All right. That was from this week. It is Saturday, and in honor of President's Day weekend, our Goodwills did 50% off everything in the store. I went to 2 Goodwills. If I had to count on regular Goodwill stores for the majority of my sourcing, I would have gone to more. There's like 5 that's not super far from me. But I still prefer the bins, and I still have yard sales. So, and I still end up paying up at Goodwill because the prices are so high. So the 2 that I went to, I'm surprised it took me this long to notice. They're both on the same street, but they're about, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles apart. The one that's closer to me, I think they priced their stuff higher than the other one. But anyway, let's see what I got. There were a few things that I wanted, but even at half price were too expensive. Like there were 2 pair of cowboy boots they had listed at 30, and even 15 was a little high because they weren't like it's not like they were Lucchese or anything. And they would have been a bit of a risk. But, there was a lot of stuff I saw, and I said, see you at the bins. But for example, so we have red tags, and the red tags are not subject to regular discounts. They are 50% off the 4th Saturday of every month. And they red tag and price up Express jeans, American Eagle jeans. Our regular jeans price is $9.99, and those are all $19.99. $19.99 for Express jeans. Anyway, I could go on and on, but what's the point? All right, let's see what I got. This is the first store. All right, I was very on the fence on this, and I'm still not convinced that I made a good choice. You can tell me what you thought, because they did charge more for it. But I'll tell you the story after I show it to you. It is a Tesla jacket. There's the little Tesla insignia. Okay, so first off, about a week ago on one of the Facebook groups that I think is like more eBay oriented, someone said, oh, don't pass on Tesla stuff. And he showed something that he had sold. And I didn't focus too hard on it, so I don't remember what it was, how much it sold for, but it put that into my head. And then I walk in, and this is one of the first things that I see. So I look up comps, and the comps are okay, not amazing. There's needs a little trimming there. But most of those seem to be a different style. It's like a soft shell with a fleece inside, which is not the greatest style. So then I did a search for Tesla jacket quilted lining, and this is more of a it's like a textured fabric and not the smooth of a soft shell. Anyway, I looked, and the first thing I saw on one of these in solds, there was one that sold for $200. I don't expect that, and I didn't keep digging because at that point I was tired of looking for it, and I decided, worst case scenario, I don't make the profit that I intend to make, but I'm not ever going to lose money on it. So it came home with me. Then I'm a sucker for leather. I'm a sucker for leather coats. This is Signal Distinctive Men's Outerwear. It is made in China, which isn't terrific, but it's obviously vintage. It's got a nice quilted interior lining. Little pocket there. Where are the buttons? I'm assuming this is, wait, it says men's. Distinctive men's. Duh. It's double-breasted. Has the belt. Appears to be in very good shape. So I liked it. We'll see what happens. I mean, we are coming out of jacket season, but I just can't bring myself to spend all this time going, all the time going through like tank tops and t-shirts at thrift stores. At the bins, I see everything, and you never know what you're going to find. But at the regular store, it's like if I go through tanks, all I'm going to find is tanks, and tanks are boring. Or leggings. And I'm going through 1,000 pair of black leggings to see if one of them might be a decent brand. It's tedious. I did go through jeans as much as possible. I don't know if we just get bad jeans compared to some of the other people that I watch on YouTube, or if we just send all our good jeans to their, auction or whatever. But we just have really bad jeans. So many Gloria Vanderbilts and like older American Eagle. Like if it's American Eagle Outfitters, I don't pick it up. But I have picked up newer American Eagles a couple times in the last couple months, and they both sold pretty quickly. So I am open to that. But anyway, I didn't get any jeans. This was, I'm trying to remember what category. This was, I think, in the pants or the jeans category. And it's a corset. And it just felt very substantial. Really. And like well made. And it was red tagged, which I was surprised at. And the brand is, where is it? Timeless Trends, size 32, timelesstrends.com. Their stuff is expensive. Like I saw their new stuff and it's expensive. And then I saw the comps, and people list this high, and they come back, they sell for a good amount. So I was like, yes, that I am absolutely going to take that. Uh-oh, I just saw a hole in my leather coat. Darn it all. Ugh. I'm going to have to figure out a way to patch that. I hate that. Now I'm depressed. All right, move along. Okay, I have limited to no experience with this. This is Tucker Nut, which I think is the only thing I bought that's actually sort of a Bolo brand. I have one Tucker Nut, and I've had it for a year and a half, and it doesn't sell. And it's I think new with tag, but it's an extra small, so that doesn't help. Anyway, they didn't charge extra for this or anything, so at half price, it was a pretty good price. It appears to just be a red dress, kind of has a peplum at the bottom. If my Goodwills took stuff back, I would take that coat back, but they don't. I will do my best to patch it up, and then I guess I'll sell it for less than I would have otherwise. Okay, that was it from the first store. The second store. Okay, this bag. Both the bags at the other store were all crappy. The bags at this store are normally crappy. And then they used to have racks by the registers where they had red tagged bags that were zip tied to the rack. And those have been missing for a while, but they were back this time. And I ended up picking up this bag. It is Coach, but it's not a typical Coach. Like, I am not a fan of the Coach with C's all over it. This was not priced super high. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked it up because I don't necessarily, like, I had a Coach bag that I ended up just keeping because I couldn't even sell it. But I did use AI to see if it was legit, and it thought it was pretty sure it was legit. I couldn't find this bag anywhere. And I don't think that's a bad thing because it means, you know, I'm the only one that has it. And I actually thought it's like a canvas, cotton canvas, and then leather here. So I just love the style of this bag and would happily use this bag. And I was like, even if I'm not sure if it's real, maybe I should just buy this for myself. I really don't need a bag, but it's got little Coaches on those. I'm quite sure it's real. Everything looks good. So I am going to try and sell it. But if it doesn't sell, I'm happy to keep it. So they had it priced at $14.99 and it was half price. That's not bad. I don't really need a bag. Oh wait, there was one more thing that I picked up at the first store. Yeah. The only pair of footwear, because the footwear sucked. Anyway, I didn't notice it right away. I just was like, oh, that looks like a nice leather. And then I saw it was Fry. I don't always do well with Fry, but how can I not pick this up? You know, the price wasn't like higher because it was Fry. They are not my size. These are I think they were a 7.5. Hang on. 7.5B. Where is it made? Made in Mexico. I think they're really nice. They're not like new, but they don't need to be resold or anything yet. And I will treat them. And then I will list them. All right. 2 more things. I don't know this brand. Stick. It's a jumpsuit. At first I thought it was linen, but it's not. It's cotton. And I thought it was kind of cute. And I looked it up. And apparently this sells at Anthropologie. And there were mixed comps, but not any really bad comps. And since they didn't price it up, I decided to give it a try. And last, I just liked the feel of this jacket. And it seemed to be good quality. So it is a pullover with a hood, but it's a jacket feeling, you know, kind of cotton blend maybe, with patch pockets. The brand on it, I was not familiar with it, is Recreational Equipment Inc. So I decided to ask AI about this. I took a picture of it, uploaded a picture and the label. And it turns out, which I think I did know this at one time, this is actually the original REI, Recreational Equipment Inc. Now, I believe that these types of brands, these sporty brands, they were a higher quality years ago than they are now. So the fact that this is vintage, made in 100% cotton, made in Indonesia, made me more interested. I don't pick up REI. In fact, I'm wearing an REI, which was a reject because it's REI co-op, and I bought it years and years ago before I knew that this was not a good pickup. And it's an extra small. Anyway, I asked AI about it, and it was quite excited. I'm not sure it got it exactly right. It said we had kangaroo pockets, which we don't, but we have side entry. But anyway, it said that this is vintage, and this is the, the very vintage tag. And anyway, I was looking for a reason to pick it up. And the fact that the AI was excited and said, this is a great find, I was like, okay, I'm buying it. You don't have to convince me. Anyway, so that is it for today. I did hit a few yard sales, and I got, had a couple of stops today. So I'm going to show you what I got, and that will be the end of this video. Sorry if the light is weird. It's later in the day because I was out a lot longer than I should have been. And it's very dark out. Not raining, but very overcast and windy and kind of yucky. So I've got my ring light, and it's over here because, well, it's a whole thing. Anyway, so today is Monday, and it's President's Day. I decided to go to Savers. Our Savers have 50% off every Monday, but I can't go because of work. So I took advantage of it, and it was insane how crowded it is. Goodwill has a 50% off sale, and there's like no crowd, nothing. Savers does this every week, and there's always a line before they open. Today was worse because it was a holiday. The cashier said that. And so all the people who normally work on Mondays, like me, showed up. And then they have only one checkout person, and then they have all these self-checkouts. And at the first, I went to two. The first one, I think there were 2 of them that were not working. And then the next one, there were 5 not working at one point, then 4, and he told me they just kept going off all day. Apparently there's some new program. Anyway, in both stores, the line was around the store, and if I hadn't had at least one thing that I really liked, I probably would have just deserted my stuff and left. But let's see. I don't think I have this in any particular order, so we're just going to go from the top. This is a vintage Panhandle Slim. I feel like they're just called Panhandle now, but I'm not even sure. It doesn't matter because this one's vintage and it says Panhandle Slim. It is a men's Western shirt with the very like Brooks and Dunny type flames. I did look up comps for this. I can't remember what they were, but obviously they were good enough for me to pick up. I still probably spend a little more than I want to. Our Savers are so expensive. I probably could have left with a full cart from both of them if their prices weren't so high. And I'm not just saying this as a reseller because I was a thrift shopper long before I was a reseller, and these prices would have kept me from buying a lot of things unless I really needed it. But anyway, apparently it's not hurting them because, like I said, the line was around the store to pay. Okay, let's put this here. This is a nice, comfy brown robe. It has the belt. This is not the bins, so sometimes you can find the belt. Sometimes you can at the bins, too. Anyway, I thought, well, I don't know if this is a good company for robes. It's Restoration Hardware. But there were some very good comps and some, not bad comps. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take it. Oh, it feels really good. I'm chilly now. I want to put it on. It is a size small. I don't know if it's a men's small or a women's small. I don't know. Somehow a brown robe feels more like a man's than a woman's. I will try it on and see how it fits me. And that. I'm often surprised by people in groups saying, how do I know, like, for example, a pair of shoes, 8.5, if these are men's or women's? Well, what size do you wear? Couldn't you tell the difference between an 8.5 men's and an 8.5 women's? Unless your feet are like a 10 or 11 or a 6. I am not, say, a 10, but I can tell the difference between a men's 10 and a women's 10 because a women's 10 is not that big on me and a men's 10 is quite big on me. Anyway, I digress. All right, I did not look up this dress because I have this dress. I think it's identical. It's certainly very similar. It may have slightly different design on it. It's Lily Pulitzer. And I have this one. This one's a size 14, and I have it in white. which I haven't listed yet, but I was like, well, I might as well take it because once I get the white one listed, that will be the bones of the, you know, listing for this one. All I have to do is change measurements and color and size. So I'm like, all right. And I don't find Lily Pulitzer very often here. And since I have the white one, I must have looked it up because I bought it. But I don't know what I paid for that one. This one was not paid. This one, I mean, I would have had to look if it was full price. I'm sure I wouldn't have bought it if it was full price. But at half price, it wasn't too bad. Okay. This was from the first store. Okay, the first store was actually the Panhandle Slim shirt and this. This is something I would not have known to stop for when went early on in my reselling on Poshmark. It's like a jacket with mixed print, not mixed print, mixed colors really, big buttons. So I felt it had a very lag-and look aesthetic to it. What do you think? I think it does. And then I saw the brand, which is Annikki Karvonen, made in Finland. So it's like made in Finland. That seems interesting. So I looked up this brand, and maybe I'll try to throw something up here to show you what comps are. But I saw some very good comps. I didn't see anything like this. I didn't look that closely because I wanted to try it. It seems like it's got to be good quality. It's really nice. They didn't charge that much for this. So this cost me like a little less than $4. Well worth the try on something, you know, different, but not so different that it's weird. Okay. I saw this while I was in line because I kept leaving my cart and then wandering halfway down and then running back, pushing my cart a little bit, running, you know, I can't just stand there. I did make a sale while I was standing there. And I think I'm going to make another sale. I have an offer. I just haven't accepted it yet, but I will. This is St. Michael, and I'm pretty sure I have sold a St. Michael. I sold a men's St. Michael sweater, and it was such an interesting and foreign tag that I thought there has to be something. So I actually took a picture of it. It's a duster, very long, kind of sterile, but with shorter sleeves, which is odd, but it's not a heavyweight sweater. So you could wear this when you can wear short sleeves. I can't tell what the fabric is. It doesn't have a size. It just says to fit bust, 102 centimeters, 40 inches. The European, it says 46 to 48. Tour de poitrine. I have no idea what that means. But, oh wait, no, I thought there was a tag. I'm actually thinking it's a lightweight wool, but not at all itchy. Because I can't remember what AI said, but they said that this was a very interesting piece of, you know, British fashion history. I was like, okay, I'm sold. Sometimes I think AI makes a commission. Okay, I think I only have one more. Unfortunately, I got no shoes or anything. There were some I was kind of interested in. I toted them around for a while, but ultimately when I looked, I ended up putting them back. There was a pair of boots that I waited till the last second to put back because they were a nice pair of cowboy boots, but with what they were asking and what the comps were, it wasn't a lot of meat on the bone, as they say. And then I noticed that so you know how cowboy boots have that stacked heel? Well, that, at least in this case, is a veneer, and part of it had chunked off. So I was just like, you know what? Put it back. And I did. Okay, this is a men's, I'm careful about fleeces, but I did look this up. It's more substantial than your regular fleece. It's got a lot of zippers, and the brand on it is Rothko. Let's see where you can see it. Yeah, Rothko. So this is actually a tactical jacket. There was a vest that I really wanted to buy if it had been cheaper. It was, can't remember the brand, Toro? I don't know. But they make heated vests, and the comps were excellent on it. It was missing the battery pack. And without the battery pack, it's still a good pickup if you found it, say, at the bins or for, you know, even $5. But I think they had it at 20. If it had the battery pack, which would have been 10, if it had the battery pack, I would have bought it. It had the plug, and you can buy the battery pack, but I looked it up and it's like $50. And AI said it will still sell well, but it would sell more like at around $40 or $50, you know, which means then you take out fees and the $10 I pay, not worth it. I also historically don't do well with this, but I was sorry. I wanted to try that. Anyway, this is it. This is what I got. So I have a few things to list this week. I am ready for the bins. I am going to text my friend and ask her, I'm available the next 2 weekends. I would like to go to the bins either this coming weekend or the weekend afterwards, because then I can't go the weekend after that. Anyway, if I go, you'll know because you will see the next video. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, I would love it if you did, but it's okay. You don't have to. All right. See ya.